Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Civ 4 Beyond the Sword, Earth 1000 AD scenario, with only 6 civs and 3 victory conditions. And at this point, it's basically England versus Arabia. We have our 2 vassals, Saladin has his 2 vassals. One thing that occurred to me is we're getting a +2 from Saladin because we're running Theocracy, and that's his favorite civic, but we're getting a -4 because we're a different religion. So, if we were to switch to free religion, the net gain in attitude would be +2, and that would also help our research. And even though we're building some units at the moment, we'll still have vassalage, and we can switch civics all day long without any revolution now, thanks to Cristo Redentor. So let's switch to free religion, and that will help our research. So right now we're working toward industrialism, which will give us the ability to build tanks. And so, let's see, do we have a factory in Dublin? It'll take a while, but might as well work on that. Let's see, Casablanca, factory here. So, we pretty much want factories everywhere. Mao Ming, not very productive, so I'll just automate you, do what you want. Okay, so in this segment we'll just be holding steady with our plan that we've been on for quite a while now, which is just work on culture and wait for Saladin to declare war on us at some point. We've got 12 tactical nukes poised to strike. Okay. So our research is still humming along at a reasonable pace, even with our slider down to 0. And of course, if your slider's at 0, it doesn't mean that you're doing no research. It means that you're investing 0% of the gold that's being that's being generated in the treasury. You're investing 0% of that in research, but you still have your science buildings and science specialists and so forth. So research doesn't just come to a complete halt. Okay, so we have boats here. Let's do a factory in James Bay. And then these boats come around Kolomoki. And now Marseille, we have some boats. I'll bring you around here. So it wouldn't hurt us to sort of suck up to Saladin whenever we can. You know, it's not we're not going to be able to get him to friendly or anything, but you know, I mean, he's annoyed. So if he makes various requests, if we can possibly accommodate him, we will, just to keep him from getting furious. You might ask, to what end? Because you might be thinking, hey, he's still going to declare war on us sooner or later. And that's probably true. But maybe we can delay it until after, well, after what that would be the end of the game. So, get ourselves to cultural victory first. So if he never does declare war on us, the rest of the game may not be very exciting to watch, but we do want to win it, right? And it is going to be won, I think, in the end by culture, so it's just a question of how many more turns it's going to take. Now, producing units is not helping our gold per turn situation, but I guess we want to be adequately defended. I mean, you could say, hey, all that we really need to do now is make sure that we hang on to our cultural centers, and if Saladin captured other cities all over the place, still wouldn't prevent us from winning culture. And I suppose that's true, but I mean, who wants to, sit by? What kind of a Prime Minister of England would I be if I sat by and watched all our cities get swallowed up and sat comfortably in the capital in London, going to the theater and stuff? Okay, with industrialism now we can do tanks.
There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is make the
So
best
let's,
quality of goods possible,
wherever we
at
are
the lowest
producing
cost
other kinds of
possible,
units,
paying the highest wages
let's
possible.
just put a stop to that right now. Nottingham, you can finish your SAM and then do a couple of tanks. And Aztec City, build tanks. Okay, is that all? What's going on here? 166 turns to build a university. Maybe that city is boxed in, may only be able to work one tile there or something. Well, oh, it's in revolt, I see. But still getting squeezed by Chinese and Korean culture. Next up is plastics, and we can hook up our offshore oil. We have oil right here by Houston, so we don't need the offshore oil, but having more than, how many sources do we have? Well, we have 3 sources right now, so, or is that just telling us how many places there is oil? Well, anyway, yeah, because I know of 3. There's Houston, there's off the coast of Chichen Itza, and then in the North Sea. But we only have one of them hooked up. Also, plastics allows the construction of the Three Gorges Dam, which provides power to all cities on the continent where it's built. And a continent in this game, oh, hold that thought. Okay, so now we can do this. We can adopt bureaucracy, but then immediately switch back to vassalage, because just by saying yes, we'll get a we'll get a diplomacy bonus +1 or something. You accepted our favorite civic. And then if we kept it, we would get an additional bonus, and he would say, you've chosen your civics wisely. So we won't get the second one, but we'll still get the first by saying, sure thing. So, I mean, even though he's a vassal and it doesn't really matter, still it doesn't hurt to, you know, if it doesn't cost us anything, why not? So basically it's a free diplomacy bonus. And now, okay, so if we look here, +1, you accepted our favorite civic, and +1, you have wisely chosen your civics. Okay, well now we just immediately switch back, thanks to good old Cristo Redentor, and so now it's just you accepted our favorite civic. But you see, we still have that, so that's a nice thing about Cristo. Okay, now I was talking about continents. So in this game, a quote-unquote continent is any contiguous landmass. So, for instance, North and South America are all one continent because they're connected. And then Europe, Asia, and Africa are all connected. And remember, we actually hooked up Australia too, so that's all one landmass. If you can get a unit by land from any point to any other point, then that's a continent. So if we can build Three Gorges Dam, we would want to build it in Eurafrasia, Australia. Build it on this continent because we have the most cities, right? We've got these cities in Western Europe, and then we've got all these cities over here. They're all considered the same continent. Alright, so in Marseille, let's build some tanks. Coal plant here. Oops, not a nuclear plant, a coal plant. Coal plant here. Now, I've never really built nuclear plants. I've never heard any player sort of argue for them either. So, you know, I don't know if there are any players who think those are better, or who think that maybe you should build hydro plants wherever you can instead of coal plants. I don't know what people's opinions are on that. But the coal plants do seem to be the cheapest, and I usually just go ahead and build them. Alright, in York we want a coal plant, and then get back to just building culture. Coal plant here. Milan has got a little bit of unhealth, so do a supermarket, and then build tanks. Portugal. How much of this is from buildings? +7. Ugh, okay. Well then, build a recycling center. Our first tank. How exciting. Still unhealthy in Houston. Okay. Let's do a supermarket and public transportation. Unhealthy here, so do a supermarket and then go ahead and build a coal plant. A Taoist pagoda. That sounds okay to me, and then when you're done with that, do whatever you want. So automate here. Once we get these ships filled up with units, move them over off the Arabian coast, then we'll build some more tanks, but we'll just airlift them all to our cultural cities. Make sure those are well defended. Alright, hospital here is fine. tank. Get on the boat. You see I turned our culture rate up to 20%. So now we're losing gold per turn, but I think we can sustain that for a bit. Tanks here. Okay, so now we have plastics.
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word. Plastics.
Let's do a customs house there. Here we can go ahead and do some tanks. Alright, Wall Street. Nice. Coal plant here. Okay. So now do a barracks and then some tanks. After we get all the tanks that we want, then we'll build wealth in a bunch of cities. And that way we can turn our culture rate up higher than 20 and still be able to keep some research going. Okay, these boats are full. Now where are you going? Alright, we don't have any units there. So I may have sent some there that may be on the way, I don't remember. Okay, you guys, get on that boat and wait. Okay, has somebody built the Three Gorges Dam? Because if not, we should certainly build that. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we should build it in okay, the city that has the most hammers and is also on the Europe, Asia, Africa continent. Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. So Marseille. Three Gorges Dam. Coal plant in London. Okay, so get back to culture now. Okay, hospital there is fine. Portugal, build some tanks. Factory in Aztec City. Coal plant in Panama. So composites allows modern armor, right? Or do you also need something else? Let's see. It's not showing me. Hello? It's not showing me what it gives us. Composites. Not computers, composites. Modern armor. But don't you also need something else? Oh, computers. Yeah, so we also need computers. Okay. The tank should be okay. Now I think I see that Saladin has destroyers. So, if we do end up having to nuke them, there is a chance of a submarine being sunk by a destroyer while it still has nukes on it. That would be sad, but you know, we'll see what happens. Can we go to 30 now? Well, not forever, but let's wait. So we will keep pushing our culture slider up as we're able. Customs house here. Okay, some tanks. Coal plant in Upper Sand. Frankly, I'm wondering why Saladin is taking so long to attack us, you know? He is number 2 in culture, but you can see how far behind he is. So it just ain't happening. Some more tanks. Nope. Worker, do your thing. Do what you do. Okay, these boats are filled up. So, we'll send you over there. An English revolt in Polynesian. Is that over here? Oh, look at that. So a barbarian... Oh, that's not a barbarian city. That's, well, it was, but Peter captured it. They may end up flipping to us. Okay, so the tanks produced in North America now can just be airlifted over here to our cultural centers. So just move you over to London. Yep, you're good. Airlift you to Bristol. You can go there. And, alright, 4 more tanks on these boats, and then we'll just send them someplace. This tank can go to York. A few more tanks here. Okay. Let's do a university and a laboratory here. Coal plant here. Here, let's do... well, we'll build a barracks just in case, and then let's just build wealth here. So in a bunch of our cities, let's just start building wealth. And do that in enough places, and we'll be able to turn our culture rate up and accelerate our path to victory. 2 more tanks there, and they'll be ready to go somewhere. Here's one. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. You've got 8 gold per turn and incense. What do I have for you? Iron and copper. So what do you want for this stuff? Uranium? No. How about that? Nope. Suppose we take the incense away. Then you want copper and iron? Okay. I can live with that. Alright, hospital there is fine. Go to work. Airlift you to London. One more tank there and they'll be ready to roll. Is there a tank being... yeah, one's coming from Berlin. Oh, Saladin beat us to the Three Gorges Dam. So we lost out on that. Well, okay, we'll get some fail gold anyway. Okay. The city is minimally healthy. Go ahead and build a hospital and then build wealth. Okay. Alright. I don't think we need to build more tanks here right now. Let's just build wealth. Same in Portugal. Some security bureaus wouldn't hurt. Since we are getting hit with spies. But maybe next time we see spy activity, maybe we'll just train a spy in that target city, because often the same city gets targeted repeatedly, and just have the spies sit there. That will help. Or we can build a security bureau there or whatever. Okay, these units, why don't we move you over here? And we have pretty well prepared now for any war that might occur with Saladin. So airlift tanks over to there. This one cannot be airlifted on this turn, so all of you stand by. Stand sentry. Skip a turn on you. Okay.
The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Coal plant in Aztec City, a little bit of unhealth there, so go ahead and build a supermarket and a public transportation. Let's take a look now how we're doing culturally. So Bristol's in third place. We are building Hollywood there. 9 more turns. Hopefully Saladin doesn't beat us to that. And 68 turns to get Bristol to legendary. Fewer turns than that actually, because after Hollywood is done and then we go back to building culture, then it'll be generating more than 157 culture per turn. It will be more like 220 or something, and then we'll be sinking all the hammers into culture. So Bristol is again number 3, so 68 turns at the very most, and it's not going to take us that many. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and so in the next segment we just continue on with what we're doing, and maybe Saladin will cause some excitement by declaring war on us. Otherwise, we're just cruising to cultural victory. So thanks for watching, and come on back next time.